Hi guys! So today I am going to do a video about something that I have already talked about briefly in some of my previous videos, but yesterday I watched a video made by Sarah here on YouTube. Her video was about being a late bloomer, and while I was watching the video I found it incredibly comforting, and I know that some of you guys also feel this way because I get comments and messages sometimes from people who address that kind of issue. Late bloomer basically means you're doing things later than you're expected to, or later than other people around you, and that, you know, later than the norm would think of as being the right time. It could be about sex, that could be about getting married, that could be about driving, living on your own, doing your studies, getting your diploma, whatever. It could really be about anything, because we live in a society that apparently likes to come up with norms and labels and rules for about everything. I am not really a late bloomer. I am a late bloomer and a very early bloomer. For example, I started living on my own when I was 18, which is pretty early. I started traveling on my own also pretty early too. I started, you know, attending concerts and shows pretty early, and missing school pretty early for that as well. I also started to develop my own opinions and, you know, beliefs, and voice my opinions very early too, which I think is something that, you know, when you're a teenager sometimes takes a little while for you to get the confidence to actually speak up and stuff. I decided very early to become a vegetarian, you know, all that kind of stuff. And even like political opinions, I had them very early too. But there are things that I am definitely a late bloomer for, and those things are mostly linked to my anxiety. Yeah, that's a fact that I cannot deny, but I think it would not be accurate to think of me being a late bloomer for those things only because of my anxiety. I think it's, yes, partly because of that, but also it's because I'm genuinely not really interested, or I don't feel ready, or it's not something I want to have or to do or to experience in my life right now. Wow, that was a long sentence. I think we live in a society where we like to have like a schedule. There are things that are necessary, and those things are most of the time very vain, very superficial, yet we seem to really put a lot of value on them. Completely ignore the fact that everyone is different, everyone is unique, everyone has different experiences, different opinions, emotions, different ways to react, different ways to comprehend and apprehend things. Regardless of that, we just want everyone to experience the same things, and quite preferably at the same age. I've never been drunk, I've never had alcohol, like really, like I've tried and tasted many alcohols, but I've never like had a glass of alcohol, you know. I've never smoked, I've never done drugs. Well, obviously drugs are not that common, like smoking weed and stuff, and smoking cigarettes is something that you're kind of expected to do. Not like expected to do, but you know, it's common between young people. I've never been to a nightclub, I've never really been to parties and stuff. I had a boyfriend when I was 16, but you know, it was a high school relationship. We didn't do anything together or stuff. I've never been on a date, so I could almost say I've never really been in a real relationship. I'm 23 and I should be done with uni, and I still have 2 years left. I've never had a real part-time job. The only thing I've done was babysitting kids. I don't drive. Yeah, there are a bunch of things which are definitely expected somehow, but I've never done them. And the reason why for some of them is, yes, my anxiety, but also because I just don't want to. I don't want to drive, I don't want to smoke, I don't want to drink, I don't really want to be in a relationship, and I've never found someone that made me want to be in a relationship, so I'm not going to get in a relationship because it's like the thing to do. I have to admit sometimes it's a little bit difficult. For example, when it comes to university, I've always been a very, very good student, and I was not expecting, and nobody was expecting me to waste some years of my life. It was because of health issues that I could not really attend uni and stuff, but it's also because I made it's not really a mistake, it's not a mistake, it's just that I thought I wanted to study psychology, and I didn't want to study psychology eventually, and I thought I wanted to study Japanese, and it's not really that I did not want to study Japanese, but I did not feel happy. I was very ashamed, and it was something really difficult to kind of accept, you know. You know, first of all, I was seeing all of my friends who didn't know what they wanted to do, who had never had any real interest in anything. They were just doing good. And I mean, I was not like, oh, I want you to fail too, but it was even harder to face my own failures while seeing others just go on with their life. Well, it took me about 2 years to come to terms with the fact that that's what happened for me, simply. It does not mean that I'm not a good student. It does not mean that I don't know what I want to do. It does not mean that I'm not passionate. It's not that I'm lazy. I still see that sometimes in people's eyes, or I can read it in their minds, you know, when I'm like telling them that I'm just entering my master's degree, they're like, oh, what did you do before? Oh, okay, you didn't know what you wanted to do. Oh, okay, but what do you want to do? And even sometimes people that I've told like 1 billion times what I wanted to do, but they don't really take me seriously, because for them it seems, you know, you've wasted a couple of years and you've tried a few different things, and it's like suddenly, chung, nothing is structured in your life anymore. And I have to admit, sometimes it's annoying, because I want to tell people, stop making me feel like, you know, I'm not someone reliable, someone that's not mature enough just because I'm doing things a bit later than you. For relationships, it's kind of the same, you know, it's a little bit more difficult to imagine myself getting into a relationship because I have no experience, and I'm usually attracted to people who are much older than me, like much older, like 10 years older than me. For me, we're the same age, so I'm talking like 20 years older than me usually, and those people have so much more experience than me. I feel like there's a whole world of habits and knowledge and rules that I'm not aware of, and it can be a little bit scary sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but it's me. I would be so much more unhappy if I had done things in the past that I didn't feel ready to do. It's the same for sex. I just want to talk about that. Don't do things because you think it's time. Don't do things because your friends are doing them. Don't do things because I don't know what. No, don't do anything you don't want to do. Don't, because you cannot go back. You cannot undo what's been done. You really cannot. Doesn't mean that if you've messed up, it's forever doomed. No, but please, if you can save yourself some trouble, some pain, just do it. In this society, we always have to have like projects and things we want to achieve. Our values are measured by our appearance, our wealth, and our capacity to be like, to try new things, to want to do new things, to have projects and to be great achievers and stuff. And while I don't think there's anything bad with, you know, having ambition and wanting to achieve things, not everyone is like that. And I don't think it's better than just being, you know, happy with a very normal, simple life. I don't think it's bad to have like no projects and just be happy with, you know, enjoying the sun, enjoying a good meal, enjoying being with your friends, enjoying this walk, this great movie, helping your neighbors, learning a new thing by reading a book, and just having your work, doing your work properly, and knowing that you're contributing to the whole society. And why would everyone have to, you know, be like, I want to achieve great things? What is it even to achieve great things? Like, how do you know when something is a great thing? For me, something is a great thing when it's done out of love, with honesty, and when it's helping someone or a greater cause. And you can do that at any age, any time, whatever your job is, whatever your occupation is, whatever your wealth is. You know, there is no little help and there is no little achievement. And your worth is not based on the quickness of your success. It's not based on how good you look. It's not based on the grades you got at uni. It's not based on whether or not you went to uni. It's not based on whether or not you know how to make a lot of money. It's not based on anyone else's appreciation of what your life is. I can tell you, I was so sad about being late for uni, because everyone was like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And suddenly one was like, oh my god, but you messed up, how is that possible? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to do. And I was so not used to something new like that I didn't know how to react. And no one had ever told me that it was okay to make a mistake, because it's not something you tell people, because we're in this society where we are like brainwashed to just succeed in just only one way, you know. It was really hard. But now I am so much happier. And you know what, I'm looking at my friends, and almost none of them, actually apart from one friend, none of them are passionate about what they're doing. They're like either working or ending their studies, but they're not happy with their situation. They don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, it's okay, you know, it's okay, but what I'm saying is sometimes it's better to take some time to find yourself. Just wait for yourself, because sometimes life throws you so quickly in the future and you're like behind, you know, and you just need to wait for yourself, because you're gonna arrive and you're going to feel complete, you're going to feel good, and you're gonna be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I don't want this, I don't want that. I just cannot imagine myself working right now. I just cannot. I cannot. I want to be a student, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of these 2 years left. And I know that my life now has a much greater chance to be awesome than it would have been if I had stuck with what I was unhappy with before. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope this was interesting. Please let me know how you're doing, and if you have any tips or thoughts on that subject, feel free to share that with all of us in the comments below. Bye.